You're listening to the Dave Canning Sports Show. Here's your host, the voice, Dave Canning.
Welcome to my house. Play that music too loud. Show me what you do now. We don't have to go out.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my house. Welcome back to the Dave Cave, and most importantly, welcome back to another brand new episode of the Dave Canning Sports Show. I am your host, as always, the voice, Dave Canning. Welcome back right here to YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or wherever you're watching this video. If you want to watch all the Dave Canning Sports Show episodes, you can click right around here, right here on YouTube. It's the Dave Canning Sports Show. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. You'll get notifications right away whenever there is a brand new video posted for your viewing pleasure. You can keep up with me and all the antics at Walsh Bandits High School. You go to facebook.com/DaveCTheVoice. You can go to twitter.com. If you can only handle me in 140 characters or less, at Dave C. The Voice, the handle there. It is your direct connect to all the Dave Canning happenings on social media, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, follow me all over the internet. Now, we are here today because there is a very, very interesting story going right on here in the good old Empire State, New York. That is because the Bronx Bombers, for the first time in over a decade, are without a manager. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. The New York Yankees have come to terms to part ways with Joe Girardi, who's been at the helm of the Yankees for the past 10 seasons. That's a lot of games. That's a long time to be in one of the most prestigious jobs in baseball. Now, the Yankees suffered a crushing 7-game series defeat to the Houston Astros, and I tell you, folks, it hurt. It stung a lot. I was very upset. Yeah, it hurts. Anytime you don't finish the season with a championship, it hurts. But if you look at my past videos where I said, where the Yankee state of emergency, I said that that a World Series was not needed this year to call it a successful season. By far, this season was far more successful than anybody thought it was going to be. Nobody thought that Judge was going to go and hit 50-plus home runs. Nobody thought that Sanchez was going to be the cracking beast that he was. Nobody thought that the Yankees were going to only finish a few games out of the American League East, not just win the wild card, but get the home field the wild card. I mean, nobody saw what happening. Nobody saw the Yankees taking arguably the best team in the American League in the Houston Astros to a 7-game series, being able to rough up Dallas Keuchel, the untouchable pitcher when it came to New York Yankees bats. You know, it's just not possible. You know, and he made a couple of questionable decisions. You know, in the Cleveland series, there was in game 2 where he didn't question a hit batter. You know, Girardi made a couple of questionable decisions that wound up, you know, eventually not costing the Yankees. You know, but there's several questionable decisions that, you know, may have led to a rift between him and the front office, which then led to the Yankees not renewing his contract, not bringing him back for an 11th season, therefore giving us this void for the first time since the old stadium. You know, back in 2007 after Joe Torre's final year. Now, there's a lot of names being cast out for who we think could potentially be the next manager of the New York Yankees. I'm going to give you a couple names that have been thrown out there, and I'm going to give you who I think will be the manager of the New York Yankees. Now, let's start in my dream spot, the broadcast booth. Let's go to Fox. Let's go to the post and pregame show with the Big Hurt and Keith Hernandez and David Ortiz and the candidate who a lot of people think could be the next manager of the New York Yankees. That's lucky number 13, Alex Rodriguez. Now, I tell you this, Alex Rodriguez is living my dream right now. He has a nice, cushy job with Fox, calling the pre- and post-game of the playoffs. He's dating one of the most beautiful women in the world, J-Lo. Way to go, A-Rod. And, you know, he gets to hang out, you know, and, you know, he's got this awesome broadcasting job. Like, my God, A-Rod, if you want to trade places, let me know. I'm sure we can figure something out. There's no problem. I'm sure you'd want to host your own little TV show here in the basement of my house. No problem. But after what happened last year between the Yankees and A-Rod and kind of being forced into retirement a little bit, I don't know if he's going to want to, you know, come back, you know, because who knows? It could be a Billy Martin situation. And although Billy Martin wound up winning games and championships for the Yankees, that was just, it was the Bronx Zoo. And it was a mess for everybody. Everyone's walking on eggshells. we don't need that mess between Steinbrenners and A-Rod. So I think A-Rod, a great candidate, great baseball mind, off the table. Now, the next manager candidate, we go to the Yes Network. We go to the mound. We go to number 36, David Cone, one of the few Yankee pitchers to ever throw a perfect game. And with a name like Dave, how can you go wrong? We make some of the greatest decisions in our lives. Please don't look at my resume. I'm kidding. No, look at David Cone. He's like, it's in the same boat as the A-Rod situation. No managerial, experience really. Great baseball mind. Great, nice, cushy job. Making so much money with Yes. I mean, personally, I wish they would take Cone or A-Rod so that a position opens up and, you can find my resume right here. I'm kidding. No, I'm not going to be that cheap. But, David Cone, another great baseball mind, but I think a lack of experience might hurt him trying to get that. So, you know what? We're going to take David Cone, check him off the list, and once again, I wouldn't be opposed to that decision, but I don't think that will be the decision. Now let's go from the broadcast booth to the field where we look at some of the Yankee managers, their coaching staff. Let's look at Tony Pena, Rob Thompson, the other two names from the Yankee staff that I've heard been tossed out there. Rob Thompson, the current bench coach, former third base coach. Tony Pena, former bench coach, current first base coach for the New York Yankees. Now with Tony Pena, he would be my vote out of these names being thrown around allegedly so far because he's got experience managing. He's been around the organization a long time, knows the kids well, and he's an analytics guy a little bit, but he seemed to make great decisions in games. When he's had to take over for games in which Girardi's been tossed, in making these great decisions. Do we send the guy to second? Is it short enough that he's got the, great decision making like that. But then you look at Rob Thompson. When he was third base coach, when I was a season ticket holder with the Yankees, I would see him send so many guys on short liners into the outfield that were just there on a hop, and guys would just frozen rope out at home, and it's because Rob Thompson sent them. Not because these guys blew past the stop sign, no, but because he's waving them around, and they're going home, and they're getting called out. And these costly runs. And so, that's why Rob Thompson, to me, is off the list. Tony Pena, I would say of the four people I mentioned, he would be the most likely if I was voting. However, he's not the guy I would choose if I had my pick of the litter. No. We have to go a little bit out of the state. We have to go to Scranton, Wilkesboro, Pennsylvania. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The new manager for the New York Yankees, the man that will lead the Yankees in 2018 as the newest manager of the New York Yankees will be Al Padrique. Now, who's Al Padrique, you may be asking yourself? Well, I kind of gave you a little bit of a spoiler there. He is the current AAA manager for the New York Yankees farm system with the Scranton Wilkesboro Rail Riders, hired to be the manager of the Tampa Yankees a few years back, eventually moved up the ranks of the farm system, and in just last year, in 2016, was promoted in January to be the new manager for the Scranton Wilkesboro Rail Riders. In his very first season, won the AAA National Championship, which is no easy feat because there's a lot of teams there, there's a lot of good players in that league just knocking at the door of the show. And Al Padrique was able to take this team in his first year there, and a lot of names on that team that he's worked with before are now in the Bronx. He's worked with Aaron Judge. He's worked with Gary Sanchez, Greg Bird, soon-to-be Gleyber Torres, Chance Adams. There's a lot of young players on this Yankee team, and that are going to get called up most likely next year, like Adams and Torres, that Padrique has worked with, that he knows well, that he knows their tendencies, knows how to improve them, especially at the major league level eventually. So, so he's worked with these young kids because everyone keeps saying this nucleus, this young group of kids, Judge, Sanchez, Torres, Adams, Frazier, these young kids, they're the key. They're the key to getting that parade down the Canyon of Heroes in 2018 next year. They're the key. Can Al Padrique turn the key and open up the treasure chest? We'll see. And another thing that Padrique has in his favor when it comes to the Yankees picking the next manager of the New York Yankees is he's an analytics guy. The same reason Joe Girardi, may have had a little bit of a riff. Analytics, you look at it. CC Sabathia, he's thrown 75 pitches. After 75 pitches, his ERA tends to go up. After 5 innings, his ERA tends to go up, and that's when he just loses it. So they want to go, here's your binder, follow it word by word, and we won't have a problem. So I think that's what the Yankees want. I personally believe you got to go with the eye test a lot of the times. If a guy has it, why are you taking him out? I know the strength of the Yankees is its bullpen. You've got to get the ball to, not to Betances right now. We'll see if he's even back next year. But you've got to get the ball to Chapman somehow. You've got to get the ball to David Robertson. Tommy Kahnle. You've got to get to the bridge. But you know what? Why don't we let these starters go a couple innings? If they've got it, why are we taking them out? Because you can only use up your bullpen once every few days, because if you're going out there and you're asking Robertson to get you 3 outs and then Chapman 3 outs and Tommy Kahnle 3 outs, are they good to go the next day? Maybe, but are they as effective? I don't know. But are they effective the day after that? No. They got to get the rest. Yeah, they're throwing like 12 pitches, but you know what? In starter years, that's 90 pitches. So we'll see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen with the New York Yankees. Personally, I think Al Padrique is the guy to lead the Yankees in 2018. We'll see what happens. It is a hot stove that is just heating up. The winter meeting's right around the corner. We still got to crown a world champion. I mean, if these games could not take till 1:30 in the morning, that'd be great. But we'll see what happens. And we will see what happens on the next episode of the Dave Canning Sports Show, because that's it for this episode of the Dave Canning Sports Show. And I am your host, as always, Dave Canning. And on behalf of the Dave Canning Sports Show and baseball fans around the world, I am Dave the Nightmare Canning, the voice, reminding you to tell your mother you love her every day, because like Kevin Durant said, Mom, you're the real MVP. Good night, everyone, and God bless America.